Previously on Survivor Boston. After losing his closest ally, Joe felt like he was alone.
I feel like you were hurt.
Kind of, yeah. But it's fine. It's fine.
At the immunity challenge, Brandon dropped to receive an advantage.
At any point up until the top 6, I can block anyone's vote in the game.
At Tribal Council, Joe made a last-ditch effort by trying to convince the other players to turn on the Pure Yord Alliance, specifically Roz.
In order to basically change the tides and you have like a better chance to get to the top 3, this is the time to do it.
While Nick and Bram joined, the others stayed 5 strong and sent Joe home, leaving Nick and Bram once again on the bottom. 7 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
When every tribal council, I try to hide my emotion. I don't want it to seem scared or worried or anything. I guess Roz, she rightfully was kind of scared, but I feel like Joe felt like he was more in control of this game than he actually is, and we were a little worried about him at first because he seemed in control, but then we realized he didn't really know what he was doing. So we kind of had this mapped out very well before we walked in there.
A real relief to have Joe out of the game because he was such like a threat to us. It felt, as much as it like felt good to have Joe out of there, like also like Joe was just like a fun person to be around, so I like wanted to be around him more, so I was like, oh shoot. It felt good to be the last returning player left. Like each person that got out, like in this entire season just felt, it was like another like reason. It was just another justification of like, okay, I'm not just like horrible at this game. Like the first out last season, I was like, oh, I suck. But this season, like, okay, all right, I got this stride going. Like I'm good. So that it felt good.
So Joe was pretty concise and said that he was very intellectual about what he was thinking, and it just made sense. It made sense to me. So I voted for Roz. And I don't know if she knows that. 3 people voted for her. It was me, Nick, and Joe, obviously. But then, at the same time, I knew that I wanted Joe out because I knew he was a strong player, and I knew he was very diplomatic and he knew how to play it safe.
To be completely honest, Joe wasn't necessarily going to go home the next round. It was when Joe made that speech that we were like, okay. He outed Brandon for being somebody who said that he would vote against Stefan and Roz if the time had come. And because Brandon is such a smart player, I totally see him doing that. However, the very next second he was alone with Stefan and I, he was like, I have to say that. And it's like, yeah, you did. So I'm not gonna hold it against you. Just know I'm gonna hold it against you.
Are you guys ready to get to your next immunity challenge?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. First things first, Stefan, I will take back immunity.
It's been great. Those few hours I had.
Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. Before we get to today's challenge, I have something for each of you. Everyone will get a sheet of paper and a pen. Everyone will have to go to Everyone will have to go to a different corner of the room. Please answer this little form as honestly as possible. So you all just took a quiz with a list of superlatives, basically a bunch of different questions about how you perceive the game. The point of today's challenge is to guess what the majority of you as a group thought the answer to the question was. The person to answer the most questions correctly wins immunity, guaranteed a 1 in 6 shot at winning the game. The rest of you, tribal council, where one of you will be the 12th person voted out and the 5th member of the jury. All right, first question is, who is the most likable person left in the game? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right, we have a couple of different answers. John not really showing an answer right now.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Yeah.
Here we go.
Very tight.
All right, so we have Nick says Brandon, Sarah, Stefan, and John and Brandon say Roz. Roz says Stefan. Correct answer was Roz.
Thanks, guys.
Brandon gets a point, John gets a point, Stefan gets a point, Sarah gets a point.
Oh shit.
You see.
I get it.
Who would trust anyone they talk to? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right, we have a variety of different answers. Sarah, Stefan, and John all say Nick. Roz says John. Nick says Sarah. Brandon says Bram. The correct answer was Bram. Brandon, the only one who gets a point this round, taking the lead with 2. John, Stefan, Sarah have 1. Nick and Roz not yet on the board. Who is the biggest flirt? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Once again, a variety of answers. Brandon and Sarah both say Sarah. Sarah saying herself. Roz and Stefan and Nick all saying Roz. Roz saying herself. John says Stefan. There were 2 answers that were tied for this one. The 2 correct answers were both Roz and John.
Big flirt.
Big flirt.
Roz, Stefan, and Nick all get a point.
Get to the hard questions, Jacob.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Let's get straight to it.
Next question then. Who is the biggest threat in the game? 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal.
I care about feelings too much.
Nick says himself. Stefan, Sarah say Brandon. Roz says Bram. Brandon and John say Roz. The correct answer was Brandon. Stefan and Sarah both get a point. Stefan taking the lead at 3.
I mean, thanks, guys, but oh my god.
Staying with the people.
Stressful.
Alright, next question. Who is most likely to stab you in the back?
Oh, it's so fucking hard.
5, 4. Nick looking very confident with every answer. 3, 2, 1. Reveal. All right. Nick says Sarah. Sarah and Roz say Nick.
Off that tribal.
Stefan, John, and Brandon all say Brandon. The correct answer was Brandon.
After that,
I'm
it's
saved
fine.
is the last question.
It's literally fine. Like, yeah.
Sorry.
That's all I do.
All right, so Stefan is in the lead with 4 still, Brandon at 3, John and Sarah at 2, Roz and Nick at 1. Who thinks they're running the game, but really isn't?
This was a gamble.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. It's again a mixture of answers.
Literally based on that last one.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yeah.
Brandon, and Roz say Roz. Nick says Stefan. John says Sarah. And Stefan says John. The correct answer was Roz.
Oh, okay.
Roz, Brandon, and Sarah all score
Thanks,
points.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a chance.
Who doesn't deserve to still be in this game. 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Almost completely unanimous. Nick says Sarah. Everybody else says Bram. The correct answer was Bram. Everyone except Nick scores a point. Stefan and Brandon continue to hold their lead at 5 each. Sarah at 4, Roz and John at 3, Nick at 1.
Biggest squares.
Who is most likely to be the most bitter juror? 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right. Sarah, Stefan, John, and Nick all put Nick. Brandon put Sarah. Roz put Brandon. The correct answer was Sarah.
Oh.
Brandon is the only one who gets the point for the rounds.
I literally don't even I was like, maybe.
Who is least likely to be remembered? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Once again, we have a near unanimous vote. Everyone saying Bram except for Nick, who says John. The correct answer was Bram. Everyone scores the point except for Nick. Brandon holds a lead with 7, Stefan at 6, Sarah at 5, Roz at 4, John at 4, Nick at 1. Who is most deserving of winning this game? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. All right, 2 answers coming up. Nick, Brandon, Roz, and Stefan all say Brandon. Sarah and John both say Roz. The correct answer was Roz. John gets a point. Sarah gets a point. Brandon still maintaining his lead. Who are you surprised is still in the game? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. All right. Nick says Roz. Sarah and Brandon say Bram. John, Roz, and Stefan all say Nick. The correct answer was Nick. John scores the point, Roz scores the point, and Stefan scores the point. Which means, after all 12 questions, we have a tie between Brandon and Stefan, so we will be going to a tiebreaker round. Woot woot to everyone else in the room. You guys are out with no shot at immunity, cannot help either Brandon or Stefan. Your final question is, how many total votes have been cast in this game that have counted?
Yikes.
The closest number without going over wins immunity.
Okay.
If you both go over, the closest number will get it.
So, just 12.
That have counted, as in like the person went home?
As in, the votes were not negated by any
sort of
advantage.
plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
3, 2.
Oh, wait. It's really small.
Yeah, me too.
It's fine. 3, 2, 1. Reveal. You just say your numbers out loud, Brandon. We'll start with you.
80.
All right. The correct answer was 85.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Which means Brandon, you and individual immunity. Come
Good
on
job.
over.
Oh my god.
You were like,
What?
I'm just gonna jump at it.
I was just like, what?
Brandon has a 1 in 6 shot at winning this game. For the rest of you, one of you will be voted out at Tribal Council tonight.
Y'all are gonna think that I was doing some hot math. Let me tell you, I was not. I was sitting over here like, doopa doopa doo, ba 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 ba. Your boy said 85. And the number was 85. That's it. That's all it was. But what was shocking on the other end of the spectrum I won most likely to backstab. Being called a backstabber, it definitely didn't paint me in the way that I want to be painted.
The Superlative Challenge was really when I saw the game switch. It's really when I saw like individuals kind of show themselves, and it was really when I saw the broad view of the game. I believe it was Brandon who won most likely to be a threat. I'm glad other people also felt that way because I think I voted for him too. Of all the Yord people, all the original Yord people, I was like, Brandon seems like the one who I want to go first. He is a very strong competitor, and I feel like he's just like out for himself, and I feel like that could be dangerous going forward. So it was good that other people felt the same way.
That game made me learn a lot about what other people thought, and I thought I knew what other people thought, but I actually didn't, because no one voted for Stefan for anything. Like, really nothing. Like, he didn't win. Like, he didn't have a superlative. That was really good news to me, because in my head, Stefan is such a worthy competitor. For, like, the most likable, I was like, oh, Stefan. But then everyone chose me. And I learned that people thought I was strong, which was something that from the beginning, I've been trying not to show.
Well, Ra's winning the most likely to win. I kind of see this as a duo. It might be a bad thing, but I see this as a duo I significantly planned. Like, Ra's was there, the rest of our alliance was there, but like, I had a very strong say in every move we were making. Ra's getting the most likely to win Superlative. Like, she's a really strong player. People notice that. She stands out. She's a very outward personality. So I totally get why people see that. But there are other good players out there.
Pure Yord, hey, we're weighing our options on whether or not we should eliminate Nick versus Bram versus John versus Sarah. When John has come in and talked to us in Roz's room, it's our little like meeting area. John is so into it and he's so lit up, and I'm like, nope, you gotta go, because you want it too much. And that's a threat to me because I want it too much. But I think we're gonna go with Nick. He's a wild card that really can't be controlled. Again, it's like these rings, right? You have certain rings of trust that, and well, it's kind of evolved at this point in the competition. It's rings of manipulation. Stefan has it in with John, and same goes for Sarah. She's looking for something. She's looking for something to cling on to. When you look and you say, well, I have these two people I can control, or I have this wild card. Well, let's just get rid of the wild card.
Nick was just like, kind of like, F it all, I don't know why I'm here, and that was very evident in the Superlatives Challenge because he was literally just voting randomly about who he wanted, and he just didn't like care that much. We didn't know if he was doing that because he like had an idol and he was like, whatever, just, you know, and he was just like pretending to be like out of it just so we could like vote someone else out or whatever, but we were like, you know what, we'll take that chance because we don't think Nick has an idol.
Let's see, like, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen next, right? Tonight I'm gonna be voted to go home. Next time it's gonna be Bram. Then it's gonna be Sarah. If Sarah doesn't have any immunity idol, maybe she does, I don't know, but if she doesn't, she goes home. And then John. The final two three would be Roz, Stefan, and Brandon. We were trying to do during the last tribal. Joe was trying to do the same, so if it didn't work out, there's no way I can do this because Roz and Stefan told them something that they rather believe them than believe us. I saw it coming, and Roz she's a nice person, and I mean, like, I'm saying from both perspectives, like as a player and as a friend. So she obviously, every time we met, she was telling us who she thinks should go home next. That person would, like, she was telling, for example, she was saying Molly should go home next, so she did. To be honest, I'm just saying I would have done the same. If people would have listened to me, like Joe and Hannah, I would have done the same. So it's only like, good job. And yeah, pretty certain I'm gonna go home. I'm going home tonight. I really like this game, but see, the strategy didn't work, and that's the only thing that I'm like really upset that they didn't listen to what I was saying. That's all. It's been a good game, but you know, when the lion is weak, the dogs attack.
Hey, so find the idol. So 1, bye.
Sarah, while she's not threatening on the exterior, she's threatening because we never know what she's gonna do. And we never know if Sarah's telling the whole truth. She's somebody who's intelligent and adept. And that's scary. You know, a lot of people could look at me or look at Roz like that, but we know where we are in this competition. What's scary is that we don't know where she is. We don't know if she's teaming up with somebody else, and we don't know it. And not only that, Sarah has also been on the other teams, which means that she could garner votes from other teams. So if Sarah makes it to the final 3, and let's say it's Sarah, me, and Stefan in the final 3, well, people could not like me and Stefan because we have been on the winning side the entire time, and nobody likes winners when you've been the loser. For Sarah, unfortunately, what's happened to her in this competition is just making her a little bit of a threat to us.
There's 7 people left. There's 3 of us. Brandon, myself, Stefan. You have Sarah Fristow, John, Nick, Bram. Sorry. Nick and Bram are perfect for my game for final 3 because they will not win. The cute thing is like you're strong. Does that include Sarah? In everyone else's world, yeah. So that's sort of like our front, that it's like very Yord strong, where it's sort of actually not. We had to maintain that face until it literally wasn't going to work for us anymore.
We'll now bring in Hannah and Joe, voted out at the last tribal council. Alright, Roz, so at the last tribal council, Joe made this huge speech saying, hey guys, now is the time that we take out Roz. The numbers are here, let's do it. Clearly that didn't come to fruition. That's the word. Is this a good sign for you moving forward? Do you have like a solid alliance at this point in the game?
Yeah, I have people I can trust, and I guess Joe sort of did me a favor by testing that trust. Well, and it was like a good card to play, and you could have they could have taken that, and I don't know, so it's sort of a bit of a thank you.
So Nick, on the other hand, the past 3 people that have been picked off were old Laku members, of which you are one, Bram being the other. You guys rallied behind Joe at that last tribal council. Clearly it didn't work out. Things probably aren't looking too well for you. How can you change that?
If you tell me how, I would know, but I don't know. I didn't see I think the game is done for us. So whomever's going home.
So you're saying that you and Bram are done in this game?
Definitely I am done. I don't know what about Bram, but yeah.
So Bram, Nick is laying in the towel, your only other...
Oh wait, I'm not laying the towel. I'm just saying I accept the fate.
So Bram, Nick is basically saying that he is accepting his fate yes, using his terms. Do you accept this kind of fate with the other old Laku that have been seemingly getting picked off one at a time at the hands of everyone else?
Yeah, I think there's it's definitely scary.
No, it's not.
It's fine.
It's definitely scary. When it comes down to it, you know, in the superlatives, I was voted the person who least deserves to be here. And my goal after that is to hopefully win tonight and show people that I do deserve to be here.
So, Roz, on the other end of that spectrum, you were not only labeled as the most likable person, but the most deserving to win the game. How
Which was
does that
both shocking, but
does
yeah.
that paint a possible target on your back, especially being the week right after where Joe said Roz is gonna destroy this game?
Yeah, and I think actually like the two were not coincidental, like that they came right after each other. So yeah, it's like I think now it's a point where we could say like challenges are a fight to the finish. So
Yeah, Sarah, exactly. At this point, it is a fight to the finish. So, would this be a good point to solidify that final three?
Yeah, it's always good to think ahead. I mean, I think we're all thinking ahead, and we're all trying to decide who we value as people, fellow people in this game, and who we think would make a great final three.
Stefan, do you have an ideal final three in mind?
Okay, so I see it as though it's like a final four because I think the final four is, well, first of all, yeah, I do. I would love Old Yord to be in the final three, you know.
So you're saying that you would like the final four to be Old Yord being you, Roz, Sarah, and Brandon, leaving out the two Laku who were fighting for their lives at the last tribal council, and now also John, who Joe called out as someone who also needed to flip in order to stay in the game. John, that must be extremely worrying to you that you have now just been cut from this entire scenario, basically being on the bottom now with Bram and Nick.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome.
I mean, yeah, I do think that is a worrying statement. I also, though, believe going into any final three situation, there are a lot of conversations to be had, I think, about, because I think it is a nice thought to be like, oh, like, who's going to be in my final three, but at the same time, I also think it's, like, all of us need to start considering from a perspective of if we got into a final three situation, who could challenge us while we're in that situation. And I think that is something that, I could let a statement like that worry me right now, but but I'm still kind of forming a final three situation in my head, and I think that there's still plenty of time before I need to confirm. While I do think it is a nice idea to have all of Old Yord there, I do also think that at some point I do think it is also dangerous to go into a situation like that, into a final three, saying I will go in with two other people that have the same story as I do. I think that is a very dangerous situation. I think it's better to have someone that has a bit of a different story that you can challenge them on and challenge their validity on, rather than having someone who has almost identical, because then at that point it's just picking your favorite. And I think it's better to be able to go in saying that you have your own stock and your own reason to be in the game.
So Brandon, we can go off another thing that Stefan said, where he says he wants the 4 original Yords to make it to the final 4. That means that, once again, one of you won't be in the final 3. How do you start determining at this point your path to guarantee yourself a spot in the final 3?
I feel confident in my ability to, 1, perform in the challenges. 2, I feel confident in the fact that I have built a relationship with people, and yes, now the game can bite you in the ass, but I feel confident in the fact that I have built relationships with people, and that's why I'm here right now. 3, I don't know, like, I agree, there's like conversations that have to be had. So I feel like for me as an individual, like, I feel pretty good.
So Brandon, Nick also said earlier at this tribal there's pretty much nothing stopping the old Yord members from voting him out.
You know, I think, Nick, that if if you're ready to accept the fate, let it be.
Don't respond to that.
Imagine all the people. We should do Beatles or not? We do Beatles? Oh.
You can always make a deal.
No, to be like serious and to be honest, I just like the strategy you're using because I feel like we should have done the same strategy with Leku. And hi guys, you didn't listen to me, you should have. And yes, so congrats on that, and that's all.
Are you congratulating Yord as a whole or anyone individually?
Yeah, all of them. Should I shake hands or it's fine? Yeah.
Stefan's right. Yeah. Bram, if Nick goes home tonight, what does that mean for your game?
That means I have to win. Or else I'll be voted out.
Alright, it's time to vote. Roz, we'll start with you.
I've been saying this for a really long time now.
Sorry, bud. You knew this was coming.
My paranoia is beginning to set in.
It's Stefan. Maybe it will work, I don't know.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Oh, it's like... Everyone's got to do it.
Everyone has to do it at least once.
Yeah.
Alright. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First to vote, Stefan.
Yeah.
Nick. One vote Stefan, one vote Nick. Nick. It's 2 votes Nick. Nick. 3 votes Nick, 1 vote Stefan. 12th person voted out, the 4th member of the jury. Nick, please bring your vote. 5th member of the jury. What am I talking about? Nick, the tribe has spoken.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye guys.
Bye, get some sleep.
Thank you guys for letting me play in this game. The only regret I have is not playing the strategy I wanted to play and get all the 5 Leku members into top 5, which would be awesome, but it didn't happen, so I really regret this. And it's been a pleasure playing with you. Thank you. Bye.
Alright, are you guys ready to get to your next individual immunity challenge?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Totally. First things first, Brandon, I'll take that community. You got it. Final 6, how does it feel, guys?
Amazing.
We were just
like,
chilling in there, like
really amazing.
Really felt like the breakfast.
Yeah,
Wait, let's hear from Brandon.
Like we are here, and it's like this is when you play when you go into Survivor, like this is where you want to be. You don't want to be like first down, second, third down. You know what I mean? Like you want to be here. Like this is the Survivor experience. So I feel like I'm getting it.
Alright, so let's get to the immunity challenge. For today's challenge, you're going to be holding your bat on its head like this on the table. On our go, we will command you to put a coin on top of the bat. We will keep commanding you to put different types of coins on top of the bat so that the coins start to stack up. As the coins stack up, it'll be harder to balance the coins on the bat. When the stack falls, you are out of the challenge. Last person standing with their stack of coins wins immunity, has a 1 in 5 shot at winning this game.
Alright, the first coin you guys will be doing is a quarter. You will have 5 seconds to do so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This challenge is on.
Remember, the other hand cannot be touching the bat. Everybody really wants it.
Only 6 people left. There is no room for error at this point. Alright, your next coin will be a nickel. You have 10 seconds to make the transition. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Just gonna make sure so they're all nickels.
4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands off. Also a point to make, if you drop during the transition period, you are still out. Everyone makes the transition. Yippee. Your next coin will be a quarter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've all made the transition. You've also all lasted longer than all the season 2 players. Yippee. Next coin will be a nickel. 5. John drops out of the challenge. No shot at immunity. Take your bat. You can come sit down. Or just sit behind them for now because I don't know if you can get around anyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone else makes the transition. John is out. We are down to 5.
Next coin's gonna be a penny. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off.
Bram drops out of the challenge. We're down to 4. Roz, Brandon, Sarah, and Stefan. All original Yord members. Next coin will be a quarter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone makes the transition. Everyone's moving on. We are now 13 minutes and 22 seconds into this challenge. Your next coin will be a quarter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This one's gonna be a little more difficult to maintain. You guys have been going for almost 22 minutes.
We're actually ridiculous.
So it could go
Bram.
2 hours, I guess.
I could go.
Your next coin will be another quarter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Sarah? Thank you. Sarah's stack has pretty much gone completely diagonal at this point.
Fucking shit, motherfucker! I'm sorry.
Nowhere, Roz drops out. Out of nowhere, Roz drops out of the challenge.
I'm not
Oh. Alright, this next coin is going to be a penny. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Hands off.
Your next coin will be, what is it?
Dime.
Dime?
Next coin's a dime.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release.
Fully readjust your stack.
Once again.
Well, which means that Brandon wins immunity for the third time.
God, how does he do it? Are you kidding me?
Has a 1 in 5 shot when the Sarah's just not happy right now.
They would hold it until you said it. And then go down. Isn't that interesting?
All right. Yeah, I was just Brandon, come get immunity for the third time. Safe at the next tribal council. Has a 1 in 5 shot at winning this game. As for the rest of you, you will be voted off. Will be the 13th person voted out of this game.
Brandon, he's just so strong, and obviously like he can't go out next tribal, but I'm thinking the next challenge that he doesn't win immunity, he has to go because he is just too strong.
So I told Roz and Stefan that I have I lied to Roz and Stefan and I told them that I found the idol. I just told them that I randomly found it and that I went searching in a random spot and it just so happened to be there. I wanted them to know that I have an idol so that I could be transparent with them in saying that I have one, but not necessarily so transparent into how I got it or how long I've had it. I want to play the idol without looking bad to them because I still need to get to the final 3.
Brandon told Stefan and I he had found an idol. And basically that was a big red flag for Stefan and I because he won the idol. And then he took the advantage at the challenge before. And then at the Superlative challenge, he got a lot of the players saying that they think that he is the one in control or whatever, yada yada. And I think that's when the flag has been posted. We don't know what color it is yet, but it's something that you just can't ignore after this.
I've been talking with Roz, Stefan, and Brandon the most. Yeah, we've been having a lot of conversations to obviously discuss what our plan is going forward. And we've discussed it up to a certain point where we know that when we get into a final 5 situation, Sarah would probably be the first to go home. Sarah is a very kind of she's dangerous to everyone, all of us, if she gets into a final 3 because again, she is a past player, she has that leverage and she has that story, and also she has been on both Yord and Laku, which are the 2 most populous tribes that are being voted out going into merge. I am sort of trying to play this kind of character of I just do whatever Yord says. I just know once it gets to final 5, if we vote out Sarah, I'm just the next person to go. If I don't play well enough in that last challenge, and if I don't win that last challenge, it's gonna be me who ends up going home. Because they're gonna keep each other as a tribe. And I mean, I understand that, of course. They've been together the whole game, the 3 of them. But at the same time, I really do need to try and break that up and try and kind of convince them to turn on one another.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Okay, so I guess we're kind of talking about a plan going forward because I wanted to best deliberate because, I don't know, it's looking like now we're sort of becoming you're I don't know, I personally feel like you're right now my closest ally in the game. Yeah. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's just how I see. And I kind of wanted to talk to you just about how we feel about the rest of the game and where it's going. Because I feel like this next vote could actually be kind of crucial in terms of if we wanted to turn the game around. Because what I've been kind of realizing, I guess, is I think we all said we need to get out Sarah, we need to get out Bram because we are worried about the Laku vote. But what I've kind of been realizing is they were never really working together in the first place. Their tribal bonds, even though I kind of came into the game going that's what's most important. I think for some people that's true, but for the Laku it just was not true at all because they all got split up fast. What I'm also realizing is Brandon and Roz are both people that if they make it into the final 3, will probably almost be an instantaneous win. I mean, you were there for the Superlatives. Roz got most likable and most likely to win. And even along with that, if she doesn't, like, Brandon also has a fair case because literally Brandon, if he wins this next immunity challenge, is gonna set a record. Yeah, set a record for the game. Like, so I have just been thinking about it a lot, and there is a real part of me that's thinking, what if we turned on that and like tried and like made the game go in a different direction and like, because here's the thing, and it can only happen now. So on Sunday, let's say we vote out Roz, kind of like to surprise them, and then we go for Brandon instead, like on Monday. I can get in touch with Sarah and you can get in touch with Bram. We tell them like, hey, we're going for Roz. We get Roz out tomorrow, then we get out Brandon, and then the final 4 is a little bit of a wild card in terms of who wins, because then it's like we don't know who's going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, whenever we get the chance, it should probably be Brandon.
I agree. It's probably best to maybe vote out Roz, because I think as long as I do follow that, I can make a case for myself once I get to the final 3 of being like, I have been playing the game and I have made it to this point where clearly I feel like I am deserving of that title of winner.
They're like also like right now, like I love like Brandon and Roz, like they're super dope. And so like there's also like the part of me that's like, yikes, I don't know if I want to do that. But I am also kind of like thinking like from that like perspective of like what is best for this game like going forward. You know what I mean? And like those are the right now, like when everyone talks about it, they're like, oh, like Brandon and Roz are like the 2 like obviously clear winners. Like, so then why like don't we change that and kind of like change the pace of the game going forward? You know what I mean?
Right. John came to me because he has this plan for getting Roz out, and obviously Roz and I are tight. I couldn't just say no because that would flat out show him that I'm like allied strong with Roz.
That's a lot. I definitely see where you're coming from, because like she's, you know, like I can totally see her being like the winner. I don't know. I think it might be hard tomorrow to vote Roz out, because
it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's hard. This is like been kind of racking my head.
If we did vote Roz, it would be me, you, maybe Bram. I don't even know. And then I don't think Sarah would vote Roz. Brandon won't vote Roz. Roz won't vote Roz, obviously.
I honestly at this point,
I think maybe 3 for Roz, and then it wouldn't work.
The way that I'm looking at it is if either one of us is in a final 3 situation with either Brandon or Roz, I think they're just going to be clear, obvious winners because of the fact that the jury's just going to look at that and like be like, oh well, they just have played the best game so far. Yeah. You've been like working with them from the very beginning, and that's why I am like kind of coming to you with this, because I am like I think this is like something that I wanted to discuss and like kind of like flesh out. And maybe like even consider if it's even a good idea or not.
John really trusts me. I'm kind of just like, I'm good at telling people what they want to hear, and I was able to talk out of that situation, or talk him down at least.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to like sleep on it. It's kind of, I can't say yes or no right now.
For sure.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm friends with Bram outside of the game, so. And since he's kind of like on the outside, he's an outlier, I'm like, you know what, I'm the one who has this connection with him. I'll talk to him about coming to my side with Roz, because we don't really completely know what Bram's up to.
Obviously, like you know, Brandon's the most powerful person in this game right now. Everyone knows it.
Does he have an idol?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, he's immune. Say he keeps winning them, then all right, there's nothing we can do. But if we do get the top 3, it's a gamble. But I think like if you, Roz, and I work together, I think we have a good chance. If we're the top 3, it's like right there. There's the 3 of us who are like kind of like lower key players.
Right.
So it's not like an obvious choice for the jury. Like, oh, obviously Brandon, but like once we're like the 3 of us are there, like okay, they were like kind of quiet in the beginning,
right?
you know, we're like team players. We like settled in, but we made it all the way here.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, and we're good competitors, so it's not like oh they don't even deserve it. Like
Right.
I kind of just told him that like we're both people who care about this game the most, and I want to go to the end together, and he doesn't care about this game at all. So I don't know. He bought it, which worked. So I think I'm good at talking to people.
It'd be nice for Roz, you and I to be the final three.
Yeah.
We just have to stop Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I'm being transparent with you. Like it's getting to the point where like you know like Brandon, Roz, and I are like the core. Like we're like the core, like you know friendship whatever in the game. But it's getting to the point where like you know I need to like talk to other people.
It helps us if I can just kind of string him along and have him vote along with me. John doesn't want Roz and Brandon in this game, and I need Roz and Brandon in this game because they're my alliance.
So whose name is in the pot for tonight?
Okay, so like possibly like keep this low key. Possibly John tonight.
Okay.
Because he's not expecting it at all.
No.
He's actually come up to Roz, Brandon, and I 2 or 3 times explaining why he's a good fit to be final 3. Meaning that like he's saying, oh, he's telling the 3 of us like, oh, one of you has to leave. And we're like, what's your game? What's your strategy?
Yeah.
That's such like you're putting a target on your own back. You're saying that you're gonna have to vote one of us out.
I don't know how much longer, because he has this thought in his head of we need to get Roz and Brandon out. I don't know how much longer we can keep him along, stringing him along. So he's probably the next biggest threat.
Also, I was so mad that I lost that challenge because I was like, well, damn, like now they're definitely gonna vote me out.
Yeah.
I feel 50-50. You know, I know my name's out there. I know my name is one person that they want to possibly vote off. So I don't feel safe. Personally, I feel safe, but practically I don't. People just need to start making more moves. Really kind of playing the game instead of, you know, acting like we're all friends with each other inside the game. Sure, we're friends outside the game, you know, but that doesn't matter. But we're you know, one eye closed, one eye open.
John is the bigger threat, but Bram is the only member of Laku left in this competition. The original Laku. Now, most of the jury is going to be Laku. Now, who do you think everyone's going to vote for? You think they're going to vote for the winning team over here? You think they're going to vote for us, who's just been out here sending everybody home? No, that's not how it works. It's like they might respect that, but in my mind, if somebody has been sending me home and my whole team home this entire time, well, yeah, I'm going to vote for the one person that's there that was like, yeah, you made it. You made it. I don't want that to happen. But there's a fire in John's eyes. There's not necessarily that fire in Bram like there is in John. I want to go into this final 3 with me, Roz, and Stefan, because I know that if I get there, I can beat them. This tribal is the last tribal that I can play my advantage to block a vote. And I could do whatever I want with it.
Hi.
All right.
Hello.
So, Roz, as we're
Hi.
getting closer to the final 3,
Yes.
how are the stakes raised in the game now?
Honestly, they're so high. I feel like Survivor's low-key taking over my life. Just because I think it's obvious to say that we all care and we're all invested and we all have like put a ton of effort into this. So stakes are really high because no one's trying to back down.
Bram, last tribal council we had, you said, Nick's going this time. If I don't win the next challenge, I'm going. Do you think that's still true right now?
It could be. Honestly, I've been scared this week.
What's the benefit of keeping you in the game right now?
Oh, alright. You want my log line, 24 words? I'm much more of just like I'm much more of a loyal competitor, and I enjoy having fun, and I enjoy being strategic, but I'm really not, I'll do what I have to do, but at the end of the day, like, I really enjoy being with y'all, and I'm a good competitor, and I think that you'd like to see my face there.
Sarah, Bram talks a lot about loyalty. How important is loyalty at this point in the game right now?
Loyalty is honestly like what it's all about at this point, because it's just like it's about like gaining people's respect and doing the best you can to keep it.
All right, so Stefan, last time you talked about keeping the 4 yards strong, going all the way, but only 3 will make it in the end.
Right.
So while there's a sense of loyalty, some of that's going to have to get cut off. How do you decide who to actually take with you to the final 3?
I don't know. I'm here to win. Like, I'm wearing shorts today. I'm ready to go.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
But outside of sort of
sorry, I forgot your question.
outside of the physical part,
Yeah.
last tribal council you talked about keeping the 4 yards strong.
Right, yeah.
But like, it's going to come down to just 3 in the end. So how do you decide who to actually take with you?
I mean, I think you just said it right there. The 4. I said the 4 last time. Tomorrow's gonna be final 4.
But it's gonna come down to only 3 in the end.
No, I know. Okay, I know. Okay, so let me say it out for you. I'm gonna go in with a plan for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go in with the people who I trust the most. Loyalty, as we said, and it's we don't have any numbers, but you have to have that majority. Numbers are the entire game right now. So yeah.
So John, how much are you guys thinking about threats right now in this game?
Well, I mean, Roz mentioned earlier that like Survivor is taking over kind of like our lives, and I think with that kind of thought, I have to agree with that, and I think a big part of that is threats. Like, the reason why it takes over our lives is because we are like constantly thinking about like now like who could be a threat to like either any of us if we enter a final 3 situation. So I definitely like I in my mind like try to like constantly like figure out who might be a threat to my game, but now for myself I feel confident going into, I guess, like sort of into a final 3 situation.
Brayden, who would be an example of a big threat in the game right now? Stefan?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like, we've, like, been in the top 2 for, like, 2 challenges. He's won a challenge, I've won challenges, and it's like, he, like, on numerous times, Stefan has proved himself to where if he's not winning, he's almost winning. So, like, he's a strong competitor, and so, like, oh, well, this one right here.
Stefan, is that scary for you to hear? Because
Not really, honestly. If I'm a threat, that means I'm good at challenges, and if I'm good at challenges, I win them and get immunity. So, I don't know, I'm not too worried.
All right, so let's go down the line. Roz, do you feel like you can beat any one of these people here in a final tribal council if you're sitting next to them in final 3?
Oh, in final 3?
Yeah. Do you think you can beat any of them here?
Of course.
John, do you think you can beat any of them here?
I definitely think I can make a case for myself.
Sarah, what about you?
I think I can also make a case for myself.
Stefan?
Probably. Hopefully.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Bram?
Yeah.
So all of you feel pretty confident as players right now that you can make a case for yourself. All right, let's get to the vote. Ross, you're up.
Oh, they're gonna talk.
Oh, wait.
Make a serious.
Yes.
I would like to use my advantage. Next tribal.
Okay.
I have the power to block a vote and prevent that person from voting. For the person whose vote I'm going to block tonight is John's.
John's. All right. John will not vote in this tribal council, which the other 5 of you will be voting. Ross, it's time to vote. You're up.
Team.
be the time to do so. Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted off will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Are the votes? First vote, John. John. The 13th person voted out of Survivor Boston Beacon Hill and the 6th member of a jury. John.
Good play.
Someone takes 3 now.
Oh my god.
Good play.
John, try to slow in.
Nice job. Oh. I love you, buddy.
I love you.
Yeah, that was a good play. I like that a lot. It was very, very fun. I always thought before I got voted out if I'd be able to play it cool. But honestly, this is a play where I was ooh, this is good. I definitely was not expecting it for sure. And I guess what ended up happening to me was what I was worried about if I had helped Laku out. The reason why I decided to help Yord out is because I thought that they would go down a path where they sort of realize that not all 3 of them can win. Now, I think going forward, they've definitely created a very easy path for either Stefan, Roz, and Brandon to go to Tribal, or they've created a path where it's going to kind of become mayhem between the 3 of them.